you, what up? Welcome to my channel, welcome back. I'm Maryam, and today I'm doing another episode of Makeup for Real Life Date Night Valentine's Day Edition. This is the look that I prepared for you. Something along the lines of Euphoria inspired, very 2022, very current, but with present day techniques, with products that I'm currently loving. Expect a very easygoing, thorough tutorial that focuses on tips, on techniques, on products, and basically just having a good time. So I hope you guys are here for it. I most certainly am. Without further ado, let's get into this video. Subscribe if you aren't already, hit that notification bell, and let's do it. Makeup for real life, for real light, for real life situations, Valentine's Day edition. As always, I like to start with my primer, so I'm gonna go for my YSL because date night is a special occasion for me and I wanna look my best. And so I'm going to use my most luxurious primer. I'm gonna smooth down my pores, blur my imperfections, perfect my skin texture, and also prep my face for my foundation. Okay, I can see that this hairstyle is going to get annoying for the video, so I'm gonna have to gently push that back behind my ears. But I really do like this hairstyle. It reminds me of back when I was 12, so I'm glad it's back. For my foundation, I'm gonna go with the Bobbi Brown Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation in SPF 15. I love this one. It was my favorite, or one of my favorites for 2021. And I actually wore it yesterday, and I got so many compliments on my skin. Granted, my skin is at a good place right now. Thank you, skin gods. But still, this foundation is incredible. Super lightweight, but the coverage is really, really good. Believable shade match. Natural tan 4.25 is what I am wearing today. I will say this is a medium to buildable type of foundation that you can definitely sheer out if you need to, or you can build it up to a full coverage if you need to. I also think that this is something that looks really great both at night and during the day, and it is very long wearing, so it's perfect if you're gonna be out and about and you don't want to have to think about your foundation or your makeup moving. The brush that I'm using is this Flawless foundation brush. Very pore friendly, very smoothing on texture. I love this one. Also, another reason why I grabbed this one is because I am loving the new Elizabeth Arden Flawless Finish Skin Caring Concealer. So this is this, no! My heart. Okay, it did not break, but that was quite a thud. What was I saying? Ah, yes. So this is the Skin Longwear Weightless Foundation. This is the Skin Caring Concealer, and they go great together. I am really loving this concealer. I think the formula is super flexible, meaning that it kind of moves with you, so it doesn't settle into fine lines or anything like that. It offers really great coverage. Definitely a fave for me. So now the shade that I'm using here is much brighter than my foundation shade, and it's also a little bit on the pink side. This is shade 305, and I like it for brightening. I really like it to sort of color correct at the same time. But if you want to cover minor imperfections like the ones I have here, you may want to get a shade match, but I'm not gonna go crazy with just like one little spot. Rare Beauty concealer brush, one of my favorites, you already know, to blend and blur everything out. So for Valentine's Day this year, I have several plans. First of all, Lee and I decided to celebrate Valentine's Day a little bit earlier, so before the weekend. I think we're actually going out on Thursday, and we're just checking out a restaurant that we've been wanting to go to for a while, and we're literally just gonna have date night, exactly that. We're gonna enjoy a multi-course dinner, maybe with some wine pairings, and just have some us time, you know? And then this weekend, we're actually keeping pretty busy. I have one of my friends coming over who is going to be getting married later this year, and I will actually be doing her makeup for her wedding day. So she's coming over for a trial, and we're just gonna hang out with her and her fiance and just, you know, catch up before the big day, that is. And then on actual Valentine's Day, we have a brand event for one of my dear friends. Yeah, Patrick. And so I'm very excited because it's gonna be fun-filled, you know? So speaking of Patrick, I am going to be using my One Size powder to set my under eye and basically everywhere I applied the concealer, but I'm not gonna apply any powder anywhere else just yet. So just sealing in the concealer in the areas where I applied it, around the nose, porous zones, just kind of lightly tapping it like that. Chin, between the brows, center of the forehead. This brush is a no-name brush, but you can get a similar brush from pretty much any brand that sells brushes. So think Sigma, think Morphe. It's just a big, sort of fluffy brush that might be sold in the eyeshadow category, but I really like to use it for just smaller areas like the under eye, like between the brows, around the nose, chin, and specifically I like to use it for setting my powders like that. All right, I'm gonna set that aside for a second, and I am going to move on to my blush. So today I'm gonna go for the Rare Beauty blush in the shade Hope. This is a new shade. I've been loving this blush so much ever since they came out with their blush brush. This blush brush is genius. It's so good. And no, for some reason it's not available on Sephora. And when you go on Rare Beauty's website, it says that it's out of stock, but then it also says that it's not available yet. So I'm assuming that this is a brush that is upcoming. So please be on the lookout. I honestly want everyone to have this brush. It's so great, and it makes the application of this blush just so much easier. And also just very enjoyable. I will say this shade Hope is my favorite one from all the new additions because it just looks so fresh. And it's very skin-like, you know? It truly looks like a healthy, natural blush. And since this is a makeup for real life, for real light, and for a real life situation, I gotta keep my date in mind. And my date, AKA the swatch model, AKA Lee, my partner, and my other half, he sadly does not like the look of bright blush, especially on me. He says that it makes me look clownish. He says that it makes my cheeks look really, really big. So he may be right, and I'm gonna take him into consideration. So I'm gonna go very subtle on the blush for this date night, just because, you know, I want to appear pretty for him, and I wanna give him something to appreciate. I want him to be like, hey, I noticed that you put on a little less blush for me. It looks very natural. You know what I'm saying? So now that I've applied my blush, it is very important to set this blush. So I'm gonna go back to my one size. I have a little bit left over in the cap. I'm gonna take this massive Rephr brush, number 22. I gotta say, a lot of people love Rephr brushes, but I find that they shed way too much hair for my liking. But I do like the size of this brush because it's huge. And my face, let's face it, is huge too. So this is a good match for me. Very quickly, I'm going to kind of set underneath the blush and then move the product up like that, so that it's set very, very lightly. And the same thing on the other side. So kind of just setting underneath and then moving the remainder of the product up. Boom. See what I'm talking about? All right, whatever's remaining, I'm just gonna tap onto my forehead, my nose, everywhere else. Next thing I'm gonna do is apply more powder, duh. I'm gonna go for my Charlotte T, because this one is going to just blend everything together. You know, it's gonna give me this nice veil of perfection all over. I also find that these two powders go together very, very well. I've said this in many videos. I feel that this may be the inspo powder for this powder. So I always end up using them together, whether it's for date night or for every day. I don't shy away from using products that I love on a regular basis. That's just me. Got hair. For the bronzer, I'm gonna go for my Dior Quad Backstage Contour Palette. I'm gonna go for the light contour. Wayne Goss. That was very New York of me. Wayne Goss, number 12 brush. Just a light dusting of that. Add dimension to lift my cheekbone a little. Not that it needs any lifting. We like to do the most around here. A little bit on the jawline, a little bit on the nosy nose. I already told you, I've been loving this PIXI x Hello Kitty Hello Glowy Powder Friendly Blush. And I think it goes so lovely over the Rare Beauty Liquid Blush. This is just such a nice combo because these two formulas are very, very unique. And I don't know, together, they just do something magical for me. Plus it's pink, just in time for Valentine's Day, but not too pink. I'm gonna add that right on top for just a little bit of a glow. Like, can we appreciate that? It's just so dainty and so flirty and so pretty. Imagine this in candlelight. I'm even gonna add a little bit to the temple, but not too much. Just a hint of a glow. And a little bit right here. Together, it's just stunning. So that's all I'm gonna do, just a little bit of that for the blush. And I feel like this is subtle enough for the swatch model to appreciate rather than tell me I look like a clown. And don't get me wrong, he never says this in a demeaning way. He's always had a preference for less blush on me, and also not just me. Okay, onto the brows. I never like to do my brows after my makeup, but today I'm not actually going to be gluing my brows all the way to my head. I'm gonna instead create a clean brow look. So I'm using my Makeup by Mario Master Hold Brow Gel, just kind of spiking the hairs up. I'm not adding as much product as I usually do in order to glue and laminate them, but I'm adding enough just to kind of groom them and to keep them flowing in the same direction, like that. So then of course I am going to glue the edges. So I'm gonna just hold the applicator at the tail end of my brow for a little bit until it sticks, only because my brows are spiky and they tend to stick up. So I need just a little bit of extra help here. All right, but I'm not gluing them in the top, just keeping them natural and free flowing. All right, onto the second brow. Same thing here, just brushing them up. Massive cat hair. Come on now, what is that? You could probably see that. It's like massive hair. All right, gluing this down. Brows are almost complete. I'm not doing anything too unusual for the brows. I'm still sticking to my NYX Lift and Snatch. Shade is Espresso. Filling in only the sparse areas on the bottom, keeping it natural and keeping it snatchral. Extending just a bit in the outer tail, and there you go. Nice and groomed. Brows are done. Let's move on to the eyes. For the eyes, I'm gonna prime my lids, making sure there's no foundation stuck in the crease. Fenty Beauty Primer, as always. I'm just gonna let that chill there for a second. The next thing that I'm gonna do is reach for a product that you may not have seen me ever use on camera, but it's a product that I've been using a lot in my real life, especially lately. I'm talking about the DANESSA MYRICKS Vision Flush Liquid Highlighter in the shade Tiara. This is a very unique formula, and it's a very unique product to add a bit of glow to your points of interest. So I like to dab a little bit to the brow bone like that, a little bit to the inner corner, a little bit on the nose bridge, and then a pinchy poo on the cheekbone here. The cheekbone part I like to blend out with my finger. And this is something that I find to be so different from everything else that I've tried. This doesn't fully set or fully dry to a non-sticky type of finish. It still has like a little bit of a dew, like a little bit of a sheen, but nowhere near as much as, say, the Mario Bomb or like one of those Vaseline like jelly based type of highlighters. This is flexible enough to go over powder, and it gives just the most mesmerizing, the most ethereal glow like I've ever seen. For my brow bone, I like to blend it out with a flat brush like this one from Kelly Baker, just so I can maintain that sharp edge underneath the brow. You see that? Is this not divine? Imagine this in candlelight. Imagine this in dim lighting. Imagine this in real life and in real light. This is what you need. I told you the combo. I gave you the secret. Now it's up to you. Oh, also, we've reached a point in the video where I should probably tell you that if you're not already subscribed to my channel, you might as well just do it. I mean, you've made it this far. You've watched this video up until this point. And if you aren't subscribed to me, maybe this is your opportunity to do so. Hit that button. Back to the eyes. For the eyes today, I was thinking, I am not a huge fan of pink makeup. I know it's Valentine's Day, and I know everyone's gonna be doing all this pink, all this purple, all this red and stuff, but I gotta be honest, I feel like pink eyeshadow is not super flattering on most people. It's almost like you have to be very clever with it. You have to mix it with either purple or either like a lot of sparkly tones in order for it not to look like you've been crying all night long. That's just the way that it always makes me feel. I've been watching Euphoria, and they've been doing a lot of pink makeup on Cassie's character, and she is the one who is like super anxious, and she is like always crying and always holding back her tears and emotions, and she's the one who's always wearing pink makeup, and it definitely goes with like that type of character. So that's what it reminds me of. But speaking of Euphoria, for today's Valentine's Day / date night makeup for real life makeup, I am gonna reach for my Pat McGrath Celestial Divinity palette, this one right here. I have been using this one for over 2 years. I love this palette so much, and I feel like it has just the right amount of pink versus purple versus sparkly tones, and to me it's just a really good, just a really well balanced pink leaning palette. So even though there's definitely pink in here, lots of options for pink in fact, but it still has enough interest not to make you look all cried out. That's the vibe today. First things first, I'm gonna reach for this ColourPop BFF gel liner pencil. Oh man, the name has been rubbed off, but I think it says Charmer. It's kind of like a pinky purpley pencil. What I'm gonna do is line my top lash line and wing it out. Really, this is more of like a plum type of shade, but it's going to serve its purpose in this look. Trust me. I am going for something slightly Euphoria inspired, something that I definitely saw in the show in both Cassie and Maddie's makeup. So for those of you who watch the show, you probably know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, it doesn't matter, because you're gonna love this look anyway. So you see how I'm just like lining it very, very effortlessly? I'm sort of like mapping out the wing And instead of pulling the wing all the way up along my cheekbone or like along this line, I'm keeping it somewhat straight. This is something that I've noticed in the styles of Euphoria makeup, and it's different from what I usually do, but I think it's something that might be a little bit more universally flattering on more eye shapes. So I'm gonna go for this one. I'm gonna quickly blend out this liner. This is the Sephora Pro Smoky Liner Brush, number 24. Just making sure that there's no jagged edges anywhere, keeping it smooth, like that. For those of you who do watch Euphoria, you're probably with me when I say that Euphoria is a crazy ass show. It makes me really wonder if high school is really like that in 2022, you know? I mean, I kind of hope not, because I do have a little brother and sister who are freshmen in high school, so I really do hope that it's dramatized. I really like how the liner looks so far. I'm gonna grab the same liner, and I'm going to sharpen right underneath the outer portion of my lower lash line, like that, and then blend it out with the same brush, and then kind of gently pull it out for a second wing. But this wing is going to be a baby wing, and it's not gonna be near as long or as big as the first one. Nice. Next thing I'm gonna do is grab a smaller brush, Wangos 05. Oh wait, let me say it right, Wangos 05. I'm gonna dip into this matte pink shade and then just go over it very, very gently, like that and like that. And then I'm also gonna blur out and blend out the lower lash line, like that. And if you made any mistakes, don't be afraid to erase with a clean brush. I really want these wings to be very soft, almost effortless looking, but as you can see, there is definitely some effort and there's some skill that you have to put into this. All right, next thing I'm gonna do is reach for one of these metallic eyeshadows, maybe this one, let me see. Okay, this one. They're similar, but this one is a little bit finer, and I am going to add that to the center of the lid, kind of just blending everything out, but adding that little bit of sparkle, something to reflect the light. And for my eye shape, I'm bringing it all the way up to the brow. I'm also gonna use a second shadow, which is more sparkly, and add that on top, like that. But really what I wanna do with that one is add it in between the wings, because that's what's gonna give it that nice contrast, that nice interest, and that nice separation. So I'm literally just going to place that in between with a fine brush, and same thing on the other side. And look how stunning. It's so subtle, but it's so pretty and it's so effective. I'm obsessed. Last thing I'm gonna do for the eyes, outside of the lashes, is grab a liquid liner. This one is CATRICE Glam & Doll Easy Wash Off liquid liner, and it's a dippy one that I like. You can use whatever one that you like. And for me, I am just going to sharpen that outer corner a little bit. So starting with the top lash line, coming down and just sharpening that a bit. This is optional. You can definitely keep it soft if you want, or you could do that with a black eyeshadow if you want. But for me, this just adds a little bit extra drama. So I'm gonna keep it. All right, so now that I've applied the liner, I am thinking I wanna actually sharpen the bottom liner a little bit as well too. So I'm gonna instead do this with eyeshadow. Let's reach for this sparkly black one. I'm gonna add that right there. Just like that, so that it still reads subtle, you know, but it's definitely a little bit sharper and a little bit more contrasting. Same thing here, just kind of pushing that color into the pencil line and then softly diffusing, just like that. Next, for the lashes, I'm not going to curl my top lashes just yet. Instead, I'm just gonna add my waterproof Essence Lash Princess mascara, and then I'm gonna reach for those Ardell Eco lashes from my previous couple of videos that I've really been liking. The pair that I am going for, I don't have the tray, but I believe it's style 405. It's very natural, but spiky. And what I like about this one is that it just flows so nicely with my natural lashes. It almost looks like it enhances my natural lashes without looking fake. I've already worn them a couple of times, so they are pre-cut. I far prefer wearing lashes that I've already worn before as opposed to brand new lashes. I just find that I need to always somehow mold and shape them to my lid. And when I've worn them before, they're already shaped and molded. I don't have tweezers handy, so I'm gonna have to use one of these guys right onto my lash line and then kind of clamp it with my natural lash. And boom. And all right, lashes are on and they are looking so natural. I'm just gonna wait for the glue to dry before I do anything else. But for now, this is it. All right, moving on to the lips. For the lips, I wanted to give you guys a couple of different options to wear with this makeup look. For the first option, I am going to line my lips with Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude Lip Cheat Pencil, just like that, subtle. And then for my lip color, I'm gonna go for this KAJA Beauty Love Swipe Gloss in the shade Every Girl. Comes in a cute, very appropriate heart-shaped case. And this is just a very, very natural nudie shade that can sort of tone down this lipstick. Option number 1. All right, option number 2, keeping the same lip liner, Iconic Nude, and I'm going for Huda Beauty's new reformulated liquid matte lipstick in the shade Perfectionist. This one is said to be kiss-proof, so it's a really good option. Option number 2. All right, while my lipstick is drying, I'm gonna add a little bit of mascara to my false lashes, just to make them stand out a little bit more, make them look a little bit more natural. I don't want them to look too fake or like too false lashes like, and I think that did it. Just gives a little bit of length and volume, you know, without looking too fake, and that's what I'm going for. I'm going for natural and pretty and effortless and just date night like. I have an option number 3 for you, which will be the boldest move out of all of them, but it'll also show you my personal favorite way to wear pink in your makeup. All right, for this option, I am removing the lip color entirely. Gonna have to reapply a little bit of foundation, or hopefully there's some remaining on this brush. And for my third option, you guessed it, I'm gonna go for Jaclyn Cosmetics lip liner and liquid lipstick in the shade I'm In It. I just wore this color to my best friend's birthday and I got so many compliments, and I gotta say, this is the Valentine's Day color. That is if you're bold. So I'm gonna quickly line my lips, overlining just a Cupid's bow, adding some pockets of fullness. And now for the liquid lipstick, here it comes. Waiting for that to set, but damn, that is pretty. Option number 3, this is definitely the brightest and the boldest choice. And if you want to see a review and also lip swatches of all of these bright bold collection liquid lipsticks from Jaclyn Cosmetics, watch my previous video with the swatch model. We swatched them all for you. This color I think is super stunning, super flattering, especially on medium skin tones like mine, or if you are a tan or even a deeper complexion. This is something that will give you that little bit of a pop, or maybe a lot of a pop, depending on how you wear and how you style your hair and what outfit you wear it with. But to me, this is something that speaks for itself. Do keep in mind that although this is also a non-transferable lipstick, it will absolutely transfer, or you'll end up eating it off if you are going to be eating anything that's greasy. So if you are going to be going to a restaurant or on a date for Valentine's Day, like I will be, do make sure that you bring your bright lip color with you for touch-ups. Doesn't matter if it's Jaclyn Cosmetics or any other bright lip color, make sure you bring it with you, because it's not exactly kiss proof and it's definitely not exactly food proof. Keep that in mind. But this option is absolutely my favorite, and it's the one that I will probably go for. All right, you guys, so that is the end of the video. Let me show you what this looks like in real light, but this is what it looks like in studio light. Okay, so let me know which of these 3 lip options is your favorite. Which one would you wear for date night or for Valentine's Day? Comment below. I want to hear from you. And for now, I am going to wish you a farewell and a happy Valentine's Day. Zooming on out, you're checking out my next couple of videos here, and I will see you in the next one. Peace and love.